Now, I've got the consolidated files already on my computer, but if the consolidation was already processed and you're a user that wants to download the consolidated files to work on them, I'm going to demonstrate that now by opening up a remote desktop where I can simulate another user, Gary Adams. And Gary Adams is going to be accessing the consolidation. I'll just do a quick refresh here for Gary to make sure that he has the latest files up there. And in the remote desktop with Working Papers launched, I'm on the SmartSync Server tab for Gary. And once again, typing investments will filter down to the entities that have investments in their file name, their client field in the engagement properties, or their operating name field as in the engagement properties. And as Gary, I'll double-click on the International Investments Limited file to start the synchronization process to create local copies. Now this takes just a few seconds to start the download, and once it's downloaded the International Investments Limited entity, we're going to see a new dialog that appears. So it's expanding the files, and because the International Investments Limited entity is a consolidated file, it opens up the new dialog recognizing that it is a synchronized consolidated file. The synchronized copies of external entities dialog appears, and this states that some of the external files used in this consolidation do not have local synchronized copies. So CaseWare recognizes whether you already have the local sync copies or not, which are required to consolidate this file. And it asks if you wish to create synchronized copies of these files. Now I'm going to say yes. You do have the choice to download only the one file individually or download the files contained in the synchronization. And as I mentioned, Gary is going to bring them all down by clicking yes. Now, at this point, Working Papers SmartSync integrated with CaseWare Cloud is going to start downloading the other three files. And if we keep an eye on the Windows folder over to the side here, we can see as they're being brought down. So I started with International Investments. Australia Investments Limited is being brought down. Canada Investments Limited is now being brought down. And it does just take a moment to download that working paper file from the cloud to the local desktop environment. And once the Canada Investments Limited sync copy has been brought down, it will move on to the last one, which is the USA Investments Limited sync copy. And when that's finished, the software will take us into the document manager of International Investments Limited, which is the original file that I wanted to work with. Again, CaseWare recognizes part of a consolidated entity, and it pulled down all the sub-entities for me when I clicked yes to bring those down. Now this does just take a moment to bring it all down, and is indicating to me that one or more source files have been modified since the last consolidation, and is asking me to access the consolidation dialog to update the entity balances. So here I will click OK. And that takes me into the parent file as Gary, and it's showing that these have not been properly consolidated at this time on Gary's computer. So Gary can go to the engagement menu and consolidate and simply click the OK button when the consolidation dialog comes up. It's in an online state. There we go. So it's just taking a moment to open that up. And we can see in the background that Todd is online in his own copy of this as well. Clicking the OK button is just going to reconsolidate for Gary to ensure that he's got everything up to date in his copy of the file as well. Now, once again, this is going to take a moment to run through the consolidation. And it does ask if I want to bring in the prior balances. I'm going to say yes because I just consolidated these. But if I'd rolled it forward from a prior year, I would have said no to that question. And it's going to go ahead and complete the consolidation for Australia. And continuing through with Canada. And finishing up with U.S. Investments Limited. And again, when the consolidation is completed, because I clicked OK, the consolidation dialog will close. While that is finishing up, let me bring back my screen and we can have them open side by side. So here you see Gary's in the consolidation file on his computer and I'm in the consolidation file on my computer. And now we're both able to work away in the file as we normally would in a synchronization setting through the CaseWare Cloud.